Epic conversation. Here we go. I'm back with another one. It's been a minute. This one is gonna be real quick. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be real quick, but I'm not gonna be too long on this one. It's been on my mind to bring this in light of the homosexuality trends. It's like it's growing exponentially. It's you know more and more people are starting to identify themselves as transgender or feeling like they were a man born in a woman's body or a woman born in a man's body. And I want to address this from a spiritual angle, and I done addressed it before, but it was dealing with some other stuff. So again, the premise with Epic Conversation is there is a difference between the being that's at work in the world that the world worship as the Lord and God. God is our Father and the Creator, and the Lord is the God of this world and the one that everybody worship and call on. And my contention is if you read this Bible from front to back, it'll show you that the Lord is Satan. That's the devil. And that's why he demands blood and human sacrifice in order for him to be worshipped. But our Father does not operate that way. And our Father is perfect. So maybe you were the creation of the Lord. Maybe you could have been born in the wrong body, but I don't believe this is to be the case. But I think people confuse what's in this book, and then I'm gonna break down. I'm gonna read something to you, and I'm gonna break something down real quick. I'm not here to say nobody's right or wrong for your sexual orientation, your sexual preference. It's up to you how you want to do your thing. It's nobody's business but yours. You got all the authority to decide how you want to do that. It's up to you. But as far as to say that God made a mistake and say that he put a woman in a man's body or a man in a woman's body, my Father don't make those kind of mistakes. And so I'm here to speak on behalf of those that claim that God make mistakes. Not my God. Maybe the God of this world, the one that y'all call Lord, that want blood sacrifice to worship me or else. Yeah. But my Father is perfect. He is perfection. He don't make mistakes. But let me break down something to you, and I'm gonna help y'all understand something. A lot of people not gonna agree with this. I'm reading it out the Bible. I'm gonna read it to you just like it is. I'm gonna break it down to you the way it's been revealed to me what it means. So here I go. Then God said, this is Genesis chapter 1. I'm always coming from Genesis chapter 1 because that's where God work is. That's where God's commands are. That's where God's work is. And Genesis chapter 1 is his commands, what he said to do to mankind before there was a Jew, a Gentile, Muslim, Christian, racism, to all human beings. It's the only place in the Bible where you can find where God gave his commands to human beings. So this is where I go to look for all the answers from my God. I come to Genesis chapter 1 and it's never been a time that I came to Genesis chapter 1 and didn't find the answer I was looking for. It's here. Let me show you. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. Then God said, let us make man in our likeness, in our Then God said, let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air and over every living creature that moves on the ground. So God said, let us make man, and that means mankind, humans, human beings, in our likeness and our image. How you know he ain't just talking about one person? Because the very next thing is, and let them rule. So he's not talking about one person. He's talking about human beings. Let us make mankind. Let us make human beings and let them rule. But it's interesting that he made man in our likeness. So we are like God and in the image of God, right? And in humankind, you have men and women, right? And whether or not you're a man or a woman is determined by your sex, your genitalia. Okay. I need you to pay attention to what God created. Follow me. I need you to understand what God did. Because men and women deal with sex. But let me show you, and let's pay attention. Get the King James Version, any version you want to get. Whatever it is, pay attention to what's written. He said, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. Okay. It's kind of, let's just make it plain. Men and women are identified by their sex, the genitalia. Male and female is identified by function. It has nothing to do with sex. Let that sink in for a second. What our Father did, what God did when he made human beings, when he made men and women, he made them male and female. Also, human beings consist of men and women. That's human beings. That have to do with your sex, dick and balls and pussies. God said, male and female. I'm going to make you, listen, y'all, in the spiritual kingdom, ain't no men, ain't no women. It's just males and females. Functions. So what do that mean, though? Where you going, preacher? Where you going, teacher? Well, if God said, well, my male and female, I made mankind to be male and female, I mean, we dealing with a spiritual being, we dealing with a spiritual kingdom on a spiritual level. You either male or female, and it don't have nothing to do with sex. It don't have anything to do with sex. Male and female describe function. See that right there? That's female right there. This right here, this the male. It ain't a man, it ain't a woman. It's how it function. And then when they come together, they operate like it's supposed to. All right, so you need to understand the function of male and female, and you need to be able to differentiate it between men and women. The problem is you don't know the difference between the two, so you automatically assume when somebody says male, it's man. Somebody say female is woman. No. Female and male are functions, people. They are not sex. They are not genitalia. It's function. How do you function in the kingdom, in this spiritual kingdom? Do you give off the light? Or do you absorb it? Are you doing the revelation, or are you interpreting? You breaking it down? Are you male or female? What's your function? Okay, well, maybe that don't make sense. You got some dominant women, right? So let's go gay and trans. With this understanding, your function can be male. You can have a male soul and be a woman. You got a male soul. Your function is male. You give off the light. You reflect the light. You is moving and is shaking, large and in charge. This don't have nothing to do with whether you are a man or a woman. It has to do whether you a male or female. And it is natural for males to seek out females in the kingdom so that things work, so things function. That's why you got males and females. The function, you see the eye, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna confuse people. This is why people are confused. This is why gender roles is a man-made construct. Some you guys made up. It didn't come from God. God made human beings, and then he made human beings to function as male and female. And so naturally, males are going to seek out females. Females are going to seek out males. The problem is they're not always going to come in the form of men and women. But y'all not ready for that. But I'm just showing you what God made when he said, I'm going to make mankind in our likeness and in our image, and I'm going to make them male and female. He talking about souls. He's talking about the way you going to function in this kingdom, this spiritual kingdom. You man or woman, it's understood by your genitalia and how you going to grow and you function and you going to reproduce. But on the spiritual level, once you graduate and get outside your dick and your pussy, you have a function in this spiritual kingdom. Are you male or are you female? Which one? And just because you got a pussy don't mean you're female. Just because you got a dick don't mean you a male in the kingdom. I don't think y'all ready for this conversation, but we need to be, because there's a lot of confused people out here talking about I'm a woman in a man's body, I'm a man in a woman's body, not understanding the way the spiritual realm function. You are a man, but your function in the kingdom may be female. You may be a nurturer, an absorber, a taker in of information and knowledge. It may be your role in the kingdom, but it just so happened that you have this function inside of the body of a human man. Your female, though. Don't make you gay. It don't make you less than a man. But we live in a world that is completely ignorant of how the spiritual realm operates. Yet everybody holler, Lord, Lord, Lord. You don't know nothing about him, his nature, his kingdom, or the way it works. You ain't studied it. And you got a lot of confusion. My father is not the author of confusion. He made this stuff simple and plain. Don't blame him because you don't know the difference between a man and a woman. That's sex. Male and female is function. Don't blame God because you don't know the difference between the two. It's time for people to really wake up and see. We do a lot of feeling and confuse that for thinking. Feeling and thinking is two different things, y'all. It's time to think. Read the book, read what it say, and think about it. Don't feel about it. Think about it. Peace, man.